I'm Caitlin Perucci, and I'm the founder and CEO of Equine Design. I've been working with horses for 15 years as a competitive equestrian. And when I was younger, I was a working student. I did barn chores in exchange for riding lessons. One morning, I came into the barn, and a horse was thrashing about in his stall. He hadn't drunk any water all night, and it was clear that he was in abdominal distress, which in the horse community we call colic. We called the vet, but by the time they got there, it was too late, and we had to put him down. Colic is the #1 cause of death in horses, and it can happen to any horse at any time. If a horse does colic, the chances of them dying is very high, often because it's caught too late. But we can catch it earlier by monitoring water intake. Hydration is an early indicator of equine health, but it's difficult to monitor it using the current methods on the market today. The majority of barns still hang a regular bucket on a hook, and the barn staff checks the water levels whenever they refill the buckets. Some barns even have automatic waterers, but the amazing thing is that none of these methods monitor water intake. I've talked to hundreds of people about this problem, and I've identified my key markets to be large competitive barns, especially in the racing industry, and vet clinics. And the reason is because in a large boarding facility with more than 30 horses and multiple barn staff filling and refilling the buckets, it's difficult to keep track of water consumption. But competitive horses are subjected to stresses which make them more prone to colic. And race horses are even more at risk for pulmonary hemorrhage and dehydration during a race. Vet clinics need to know how much their horses are drinking, and they're currently manually tracking this data with a clipboard. My key markets cover 3.6 million competitive horses located in 500,000 commercially viable stables in the US. 10,000 of those stables have more than 50 horses in the barn. And mid to high level competitors are spending anywhere from $30,000 to $90,000 on their horses' care, training, and taking them to competitions each year. We love our horses, but they're also a really big investment. I come to this problem with the mechanical engineering brain, and the solution is real-time information about consumption. How do we get that information? I've thought about all kinds of fancy systems, but all of these barns have buckets. So why don't we weigh the bucket? We want to utilize what these barns already have and minimize changes in behavior for the barn staff. So I've developed my prototype to not only measure quality data, but also be safe in front of a horse and reliable in a barn environment. It can be retrofitted to any barn, and it doesn't add any extra work to the barn staff. It's a cloud-connected device that monitors water intake, analyzes the horse's normal drinking behavior, and sends alerts when that horse's behavior has changed drastically. My product is the only one that's analyzing water intake to drive a proactive response. It's giving horse owners the peace of mind that they can catch a serious health issue early and nip it in the bud and prevent unnecessary fatalities. I've talked to many horse owners, trainers, barn managers, and vets about this device, and they're all excited. In fact, they want this in their barns as soon as it's ready. Our main market is barn owners. So if you own a barn, you would purchase a $120 hub and then a sensor for each stall at $80. But the real value comes with the service of analyzing that data, which we charge a subscription fee of $10 per horse per month. So that's the subscription model. We're also pursuing a rental model. There are 2.5 million entries into shows and races each year, and not all of these competitors are coming from large barns. Some of them are coming from small barns, but they still want to know how much their horse is drinking because they're in a strange new environment and their performance really matters. So we're providing these exhibitors with a rental of the device at these major show facilities for $50 a week. I come from a mechanical engineering background and a deep immersion in the equine industry. And I've brought together a great team of engineers that are helping me bring this prototype to life so that we can take it to market. This idea started when I was on the varsity equestrian team here at Cornell. And I've since leveraged many of my Cornell connections, and I've had many successes along the way, including winning the Entrepreneurship at Cornell kickoff competition. And now we're about ready to launch our first full test of their prototype in the Oxley, which is a Cornell barn. With our monitoring system, we hope to save a lot of lives like Jack's from colic. We want to meet horsey people, and we really want to meet horsey people who are investors. So come talk to me after the presentations and check out our website. Thank you.
This is a production of DMIG, the Dyson Media Innovation Group.